Welcome to Nuance with Nikki, the nitty gritty, even when it's shitty. There is so much shitty nitty gritty around the topic of colored versus colored. I thought it was over, but it's been brought up again. So let us look at the one drop rule. What is the one drop rule that underscores America's racial definitions? All right, so let's just look at the history of it for a second.
Also codified into law in the 18th and 19th century. The first naturalization laws of the United States in 1790 limited naturalized citizenship to free white persons and excluded other groups. Children born of enslaved mothers were said to inherit the legal statuses of their mother, effectively keeping them in bondage perpetually. And Native Americans were all...
Okay, so it was made to keep people in bondage. So there are powers that be. At this point in history, I'm just going to call those people Billy Bob. I mean, no disrespect to anybody who currently is called Billy Bob. Hello, it's my cat. Okay. But, good old Billy Bob. By the way, this is not an appropriate video for children. Over here at Nuance with Nikki, we use adult language. I smoke, and I'm going to do this, right? To the legacy of Billy Bob. May he rest in hell where he belongs, right? He was not only a person that human trafficked other human beings, took them to North America, also then had children with them through very, very violent means that did not include consent, right? But he would not allow his own children to have the same status as him. They would use language around purity, but it wasn't just around purity. You see, his own child, if his own child inherited the plantation, his own child would have been able to set his mom free. That is obviously not possible with the one drop rule. Please excuse me, I've got to put another alarm off. I'm not editing this video, otherwise I take forever. So at first it wasn't an issue because they were having children who were exactly half black, half white. They called those mulattoes, someone who's 50-50, first generation mixed kids. And they didn't believe that mulattoes could breed. I kid you not. Let's have a look. This is now an example of a slaveholder in America who then comes back and to Britain, and he's discussing the stuff.
Dear Susie, all remnants of the theatre have been erased, and Tom and Yates have fled the new solemnity that has returned to Mansfield Park.
Do tell us more about the Negroes, dear.
Yes,
Did you hear what the mom said? Do tell us more about the N-words, dear.
Park.
Do tell us more about the Negroes, dear.
Yes, the mulattoes are in general well-shaped, and the women especially well-featured. I have one so easy and graceful in her movements, and intelligent as well. But you know, strangely, two mulattoes can never have children. They're like mules in that respect.
Two mulattoes can never have children. They're like mules in that respect. So it called people mules, right? The proponents of the one-drop rule, right? And so to keep black people enslaved, to keep mixed race people enslaved, and to make sure that these people wouldn't lose their economic interest and be able to go to England and live in homes like this and have
Excuse me, Father, for contradicting you, but that is nonsense. You cannot say such things.
I did not say they are mules, did I? I said they are like mules.
Harold Pinter plays this absolutely beautifully, and he's going to talk here about the pseudoscience and history that they had around the inferiority of non-white people.
Edward Long's History of Jamaica. Read it before you challenge me. Anyway, I have a good mind to bring one of them back with me next trip to work here as a domestic.
So then they believed that mulattoes would not be able to have children. Then they found that they could. So then when the children were 1/4 black, I suppose I would have been that, they called them quadroons, only a quarter black. I mean, they went up to 1/8, 1/16. They had words for that, which I don't recall. You can go look them up on Wikipedia. What's sestoon or something, octoroon, something like that. Yeah, it was ridiculous, right? But when they realized mulattoes could have kids, they then introduced this one drop rule. Okay. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ocean, another slave trade was happening. A big part of the history of South African colored people. Let's have a look at the history of that.
Leading the British Royal Navy into the Indian Ocean and into direct contact with the slave traders of Zanzibar.
Okay, so that's one bit of history. Let's contextualize that within a South African perspective.